So I'll be welcome in the arms of the King.
So Jesus is on the cross, and it says that the people say, let's see if Elijah's coming to save him. And it says, Jesus again cried out with a loud voice, and then, af eken to pneuma. He shot out the Spirit.
Yeah.
All right? Now, this comes across in King James as gave up the ghost.
Right.
All right? But don't let the mental pony in your head fool you on this, because gave up the ghost is not really the right thing. This aphiemi, and by the way, the phraseology is the same in Mark with aphiemi.
Okay.
So that means sending forth with some force. And it's the Spirit. So Jesus actually sends out the Spirit. What happens afterward? You have the veil of the temple splits from top to bottom.
Right.
Now, I've got a big discussion of this on Mark 13 in my commentary. But you could say the same thing here. This is in all likelihood the outer veil, not the inner veil. If it's the outer veil, what was embroidered on the outer veil? It was done in Babylon. And it was basically done in red, in beige, in blue, and in purple. And it was embroidered, get this, embroidered with all of the figures of heaven, except for the zodiac. But all the figures of heaven. So when the temple veil splits, what happens? The heavens are rent. Okay? The heavens are rent. What does this remind you of? Isaiah 64:1. Oh, that you would rend the heavens and come down.
Right.
Yeah. Is Matthew's baptism scene also have a rending of
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. He's on that like fur on a weasel.
I feel like I just preached on that a couple weeks ago.
That's right.
Right? Yeah, that's right.
So you have the rending of the heavens. You have the presence of the Spirit in the baptism of Jesus. Here you have Jesus shooting out the Spirit. And then what do you have? You have the centurion saying, truly this man was the Son of God. What does the voice say from the sky at the baptism? Okay, you are my beloved Son. This is my beloved Son in Matthew. So
Both in moments of obedience and suffering.
Right.
Now, what is your spirit? Rending the Spirit, the Spirit, sending the Spirit, what is that to you then? That's not dying and giving up the ghost like we see as we've been talking about being at somebody dying's the deathbed and seeing them go. I think is what most people would say is what that is.
Of course they would. Now, here's where Mark is helpful, because it says that it's ex epnoisen, he exhaled. Okay? Now, there's a couple of things. Number one, notice it says that there's a loud voice. Now, if you take a look at what I've got in my commentary, I got a whole bunch of stuff about what happened in crucifixion. Excruciating. Basically, people who died from crucifixion asphyxiated.
Sure.
And they actually, this is one of the reasons why they put a little block of wood on the vertical, the stipes, called a sedilla, the seat, and they could sit on that and kind of push themselves up so that they wouldn't suffocate. So, and by the way...
So Orthodox do have it right.
Yeah.
Their cross is correct.
Yeah. But listen to this. When you know that there was the sedilla on there, what does that mean when James and John say we want to be seated, one on your right and one on your left in your glory? And he says...
You don't know
you
what
don't
you're
want
asking.
that.
You don't know what you're asking.
This is for those for whom it is prepared already. Perfect tense. prepared already. So Jesus, I mean, here's something I discovered writing the commentary. People live for days on the cross. Days, literally. Their relatives would come and feed them.
Yeah.
And you didn't always die. In other words, there's a really...
So you're saying survive?
Yes.
Be taken down and be okay? Oh,
yes.
I've not heard that.
Yes.
Okay.
There is a passage. See, I started slumming around in Josephus, and you realize Josephus has all this stuff because he was there at the attack of Jerusalem.
Many crosses.
He came one day and saw 3 of his friends crucified. And he went to Titus and he said, take them down, will you? And one of them survived. So
fascinating.
Yeah. So this is why Pilate was so shocked. There's no way anybody dies in 3 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
But just listen to what I'm saying, though. He went out with a loud voice. In fact, in Mark, it says at the beginning, when he cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me? It doesn't use kradzo, it uses boao. And that is a triumphant call. So Jesus is totally in control here.
Yep.
This is salvation being accomplished. It's totally being accomplished. Executed. This is exactly right. And he's dying on his own terms.
That's right. Well, he
on
didn't take
his
it up.
own
John
terms.
brings that out, right?
Yeah.
John brings out the I lay it down, pick it up again.
Well,
stuff,
see, that's why Mark and John always have this kind of strange, there's a strange connection between those two. That's exactly right. So essentially, I know what I was going to say here. Mark has this, the way this is laid out in Mark is when Jesus, exhales like that. And then it says this, the curtain of the temple split from top to bottom. And upon seeing the centurion who was standing opposite him, ex en antios, directly opposite him, that so he had breathed out the Spirit, said, truly this man was the Son of God. So there, how does he make that confession? Because he's now got the Spirit.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, so because he's now got the Spirit. So what is it? You ask
We
this.
infer this, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Okay.